What is up, people, and welcome back to my Rags to Riches F1 2010 to 2014 career mode. This is the career mode where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2010, work our way up through the ranks and through the teams, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2014. We are currently in the F1 2012 season, just about to start the Hungarian Grand Prix, round 11. So, if you have missed any of the previous episodes, go catch up with the card eye annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens, and yeah, you can go catch up with everything that you have missed so far. But before we get into today's episode, we actually had a contract offer going into today to drive for Sauber for next season. Now, I left this up to you guys on Twitter, so if you aren't already following me on Twitter, then you best go do so, because I will be doing the polls for the 2013 season, the 2014 season, and if it happens as well, the 2016 season, if we have a mid-season switch. So obviously, if we get a choice to change a team like we have done here today, I will put that on a poll on Twitter and leave that for about a day or something like that, and it'll be up to you guys whether you want me to stay with the team that I'm currently driving for or to move to the team that have offered me a new contract. So I left that, of course, up to you guys on Twitter. Now let's find out which team you decided for me to drive for. That's right, I am driving for Sauber for the rest of the season. It was very close between the votes. I think it was like 48 to 52%, or it might have been 57 to 43%. Still, either way, it was very, very close between the two teams. A lot of you wanted me to stay with Force India, and a lot of you obviously wanted me to join Sauber as well. So very close between the two choices. Obviously, if you weren't able to vote because you didn't know about it happening, then go follow me on Twitter. There'll be a link down in the description. No, there'll be my Twitter handle will be down in the description for you guys to go check out and to go follow me on there. So I'll do all the polls on Twitter for you guys. But let's get into today's episode. So the standings at the moment, we're currently in P6, 84 points on board, which means that we will get to drive for Sauber again next season. But if we get 4th to 3rd, then we can drive for Force India. We'll go back to Force India for F1 2013. Higher than that, 2nd to 1st will be Lotus for F1 2013. But if we somehow get beaten by the likes of Roman Grosjean, Kimi Räikkönen, and all that, we will drop down to a Toro Rosso seat. So, what else do we need to talk about? Emails into today's race. So, for our new team, we need to look at the teammate challenge after that email goes. Right, so teammate challenge between me and Paul di Resta. At the end of it, we were drawing. We beat him on that race. We drawed on podiums. We were losing on out-qualified, losing on fastest laps, but we were beating him on championship points. As we head over to Budapest, the information for today is it's going to be nice and dry for both the qualifying and the race session. So hopefully we can get a good result there. But without any further ado, let's find out what happens in our brand new team at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Right then, it's that time again. It's one-shot qualifying here at the Hungarian Grand Prix, a track where I don't usually tend to do well at, but at the moment, through the practice session, I've not actually been too bad at all. Let's see how this lap goes, though. Let's see if we can get into Q2. Hopefully we can. Q2 is the aim. We should hopefully be able to get in very, very easily. Nice and tidy so far through Q1, through Sector 1 and Sector 2 at the moment. We are 9 tenths clear of John-Eric Verne's time in P17. Hopefully, as we go through the final sector, we should be able to stay on top of that. Using DRS on every single opportunity around these short straights. Through the final corner, easy on the throttle, avoiding the wall on the right-hand side, down towards the line. It should be easy enough, and there we go, in P1 as well. Look at that. 5 tenths of a second faster than Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. That is incredible. Moving to Sauber may have been a good idea. I was actually hoping that the Force India would get the better of Sauber. I was hoping that we'd stay with Force India for the rest of the season. But maybe, just maybe, joining Sauber was a good idea. This car feels comfortable, it feels stable, it feels quick. And look at that, fastest in Q1. But can we carry on that momentum through the rest of the qualifying sessions? Let's find out. Right then, can we repeat our magic that we performed in Q1? So we come across the line now to start our one-shot qualifying lap here in Q2. We're setting it a lot earlier in this session than we did previously. We go down in towards turn 1. We have a few cars ahead of us, not the best aligned in towards turn 1, completely missing the apex on the right-hand side. But we get past those back markers very easily, and now we can get on with our laps, no problems at all. Starting to rain out on track, even though it said 0% chance of rain in this session. There is rain out on track at the moment. Okay, that's a weird one. Luckily, we actually set our lap time early on in this session, because if we set it at the end, then we may have actually been knocked out, which would not have been good, especially in a car which I know I can go quick in. But around the final corner, pit stop's coming up because we are low on fuel, which is always good to be in the qualifying session. Down towards the line, so 122.949, and I think that should be just enough to get us into Q3. Let's find out. There we go then, one hell of a session here in Q2. Setting our time early on, and the rain came down, and that really helped us out as we managed to get into P2 and into Q3 for the first time in this Sauber car. The Sauber seems very quick. I'm a lot faster than my teammate as well. I feel comfortable. I haven't even put a setup on this car. That's how comfortable I feel in this Sauber car compared to the Force India. The Force India, I had to always put a setup on it, otherwise I just felt slow. So yeah, the setup, not having a setup seems to work at the moment for the Sauber. It may not work on other circuits, but at Hungary, it certainly does. Going out in Q2 then, any big names? Felipe Massa, my old teammate Paul di Resta, the guy who replaced me, Nico Hülkenberg. Kimi Räikkönen also goes out in P13, and my new teammate Kamui Kobayashi loses out to me for the first time this season in the qualifying session. We need to try and pull that back across the rest of the season. But here we are going into Q3. It's probably going to be raining, but let's see what we can do. So it's raining out on track. And if we have a look at the old screen here, it says 0% chance of rain. 0% chance of rain. Sunny, 27 degrees. Weatherman, I believe you've got that wrong, because it is chucking it down with rain outside. Anyway, we are going to wait till the end of the session. Hope that maybe it dries up a little bit, that we can go on to intermediate tyres. We're just going to have to wait and see. But let's head to the end of this qualifying session, and then we will set a lap time. Oh, aquaplaning so much as we open up the lap for this Q3 session. That's not a good start to the lap. We need to take this cautiously and just make sure we get it to the line and try and get better than 8th position, which is what the team are asking from me here today. Going to brake very early going into this corner. Probably braking a little bit too early, but we'll just see how it goes. And hopefully across the rest of this lap we can set a pretty decent time. But we don't tend to do well in the wet conditions. Okay, maybe we waited a little bit too long, because there is just no grip out on track at the moment. I brake, and as I turn in, the back end just flipped. Look at that. Look at that. Slip and slide all over the place at the moment. The aquaplaning is unreal right now in these conditions here in Hungary. I'm 4 seconds off the pace after 2 sectors. It looks like P10 is the best that I can hope for. Maybe I should have gone out right at the beginning of the session, but look at that. Just no grip through these faster corners. And as we come down towards the line, we're going to be a whole 10 seconds off the pace of Fernando Alonso. That puts us right at the back of the this qualifying order here in Q3. We're in P10, unfortunately. Only 1 place above my teammate in a session that could have been so much more had it been dry. We've been, you know, fucked over a couple of times because of the wet weather. The car on this game, I don't know whether it's just me or whether it is because the wet weather conditions are so much more difficult compared to what they were like in F1 2010, 2011. But yeah, I've just been screwed over a few times in this game because of wet weather. You know, I was on to maybe get pole position today, and unfortunately it's not going to happen. But Fernando Alonso is our pole man, with Jenson Button second and Lewis Hamilton third. Hopefully we can get up there and maybe even onto a podium here in today's race. We are just going to have to wait and see. But without any further ado, let's head over to the race for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's race day here at the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix, in a race where we start 10th position on the grid. We are in a brand new team here in this Sauber car, and the team want me to get, I think it's 7th or above for today's race, which I think is achievable if we can get a good start. We are quick around this circuit, so hopefully it is going to be achievable. Looking at the new teammate challenge against Kamui Kobayashi, so we have outraced Kamui 9-1 races. We've got more podiums than him. He's outqualified us 8-3, and fastest laps is 7-3 as well, with championship points being 84-6. So hopefully we can beat Kamui as the season goes on as well. Race strategy for today, starting on the options, pitting for the primes, and changing that to a normal fuel level. Nothing else really to talk about. 0% chance of rain. Whether that will stay like that or not, we'll just have to wait and see. But let's head down to the track and get today's race underway. Championship leader Fernando Alonso lines up in pole position here today with Jenson Button alongside him in second. I am at the back, in the midfield at the moment in P10 with Kamui Kobayashi right behind me. My brand new teammate in P11 with the guy who replaced me in P12 and my old teammate Paul di Resta behind him in P14 as well. So the lights come on now. It's 5 red lights. It is lights out and away we go for this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's a great start compared to Maldonado. So go to the right-hand side using all of our curves available to us. Hopefully trying to go for a move up the inside on all these guys down in towards turn 1. Just put it right behind Roman Grosjean right now as we go through turn 1. Nice and tidy. Getting past Rosberg. Getting past the other guys. And now going to look to go up the inside in towards turn 2 as well. Can we do it? We go up the inside. Lewis Hamilton. And Roman Grosjean is just ahead of us in P3. We're going to try and see whether we can get past him as well. He's not having the best of lines. Going to have to lift off a little bit through this right-hander side by side between myself and Roman Grosjean. And what a move that was to get through there. And now we're right behind Fernando Alonso for P2 as we lose the back end quite a bit. That was a lucky escape there. Could have easily gone into the barrier, but luckily managing to keep out of it. Right, so after 4 laps of this Hungarian Grand Prix, not a lot has happened. We've still got Roman Grosjean right to our tail, but he's not really close enough to go for the attack here. Again now, he might actually go for the overtake for the first time this race. No, he just backs out of it, going down in towards turn 1, and I make an easy job of defending. I don't even have to move or change my line to defend against Roman Grosjean. Unfortunately, Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button are getting away from me. But that's just normal. Those guys are very, very quick in this game, so I'm not really too bothered about that. But there is a sizable lead between Roman Grosjean in P4 and the guy in P5 as well. So that's good. At least for once, we are actually competitive in a car and not having to defend for the whole race. So I'm very, very happy about that. And hopefully it can continue as this race goes on. Okay, it's pit stop time here in this Hungarian Grand Prix after 7 laps of today's race. Losing the back end a little bit there. Very lucky to catch it though. Into the pits we come. And we just want to make this nice and tidy and clean. And there we go. Into the pits. Right. We need to push. We need to push in this pit stop, and we need to push like hell out of it because we need to stay in front of the guys around us. It's going to be very, very important. I really want to get a podium here in this first race with this car. If I could do that, then that would be absolutely incredible. We're going to come out in nice free air in P15 ahead of Lewis Hamilton at the moment. Not too sure what has happened to Lewis in this race as I've overshot turn 1 by a lot. Wow, that was bad. That was a terrible line through turn 1, but let's pick it up. It's hammer time. Let's do this. Okay, then lots of drivers coming into the pits at the moment. So whereabouts are we going to come out? Of course, we're battling with Roman Grosjean, and we need to look for where he is. But I think because he's the second driver, he won't be coming into pits for a while. There's a driver coming out of the pit lane now, and we have got him down in towards turn 1. So far, so good. We've got past every driver that has come into the pit lane who was behind us at the pit stop phase. Sebastian Vettel there, currently in P9. But we still need to push. We still need to make sure we stay ahead of Nico Rosberg and Roman Grosjean. Right, here we go. Round the final corner now, using curves all the way down to the line. Okay, we've run out, so we're not using that anymore. But where are the other drivers? Is there anyone coming out the pit lane? Yes, there is someone just down there. I think that may be Nico Rosberg. It is. He's in P4. Roman Grosjean is miles ahead of us in P3 right now. Unfortunately, we've lost out to him, but we need to try and see whether we can get P4 back from Nico Rosberg. We are right as tails we go through turn 2. That's not the best of braking and lines through turn 2, but possibly if we can have a good run down in towards turn 4, following in the slipstream of Nico Rosberg. Can we get him? Right, behind Nico Rosberg. Now we have a little look around the outside. We're going to go for a switchback move to get a great exit down in towards this chicane. Going to just dive it up the inside of Nico. Nothing through there. Banged against the curbs. I've really upset the car. That is not a good line. That is not a good line at all through those corners. And Nico Rosberg is probably going to drive off into the sunset now. But we're going to see what we can do. Let's see if we can keep up with the German. If we can, then we have a great chance of getting him down the start-finish straight. Because, of course, we are going to get DRS off Nico Rosberg. We are close enough. We are 7 tenths behind Nico Rosberg at the moment. But can we do it? We need to be quick. We need to be close. We need to be consistent. No more mistakes. Still on the tail of Nico. Come on. Come on. Good exit through here. That's not too bad. It's not the best, but it's not too bad. DRS active now. Okay. down in towards turn 1, following the slipstream. I was going to use Kurz, but I'm not going to have to. There is somebody in the pit, so this is actually a battle for P3 here today. Down in towards turn 1, having to brake a lot later than Nico round the outside. And there we go, getting back up into 3rd place here in today's Hungarian Grand Prix. That is exactly what we needed here today. And now we need to go into fuel conservation mode, because I think we're on -2. Yep, but -2 laps of fuel. Straight away, down into lead mix. Let's save that fuel, baby, and let's stay in front of Nico Rosberg. Okay, then Nico Rosberg is going to have a great... Oh, I've run it very, very wide then. I've literally just handed it on a plate to him. Down in towards turn 1. He is on my tail. Sebastian Vettel now flying through down in towards turn 1. We're going to brake at the same time as the Red Bull driver turn in for turn 1. He's on the outside line. I squeeze him out. Oh, and there we go, holding on to P3. That was a close one. That was too close for comfort. What on earth happened there? Wow, okay. For some reason, my car has just gone into a complete spin. Well, that's fucking brilliant, isn't it? I love that. Literally touched the curb on the inside, and it just sent my car on a fucking merry-go-round. Wow, and now I'm all the way down in P9. After battling for a podium position, I'm down in fucking P9. You've got to be kidding me. Got nothing to defend with anymore either, because I've run out of fuel. And I'm on -1, so I can't go into rich mix. I can't push like hell, because I'm trying to conserve stuff. And my only hope is that one of the leaders or one of the guys in P3 has a problem, and they hold up everybody else. But that's not going to happen realistically, is it? Ah! Doing so well, and then I make one I don't even think that was my mistake, to be honest. I'm not even blaming myself for that. I don't know what happened. I honestly touched the curb on the inside, and it just sent me on a spin. Like, how is that realistic? And now Kimi Raikkonen's probably going to have a great opportunity to go for an overtake down in towards turn 1. I'm going to go defensive, but it's not really going to be worth anything, because there he goes. So I'm going to brake late, though. Diving up the inside of Kimi. Come on, let me through. I banged into him. He's forced himself wide. And now we're going to go side by side down in towards turn 2. Come on, Kimi. Come on. Round the outside of Kimi Raikkonen. Probably not. We're going to go for a nice little switchback move on him, though. Use loads of curves. See if we can just do anything to get back at Kimi Raikkonen down in towards turn 4. It's probably not going to be possible because, once again, I'm running in lean fuel. And I've lost the back end a little bit. Very lucky not to go into the wall through that corner. And there we go. Nope, not going to be overtaking Kimi Raikkonen. He's gone. And I've dropped down into P10 after being in a podium position. Please tell me on optimal fuel. Nope. Okay, brilliant. Oh, what is the point now? I mean, okay, at the moment, I'm still battling for a point. But seriously, I was battling for 15. I was battling for a second podium of the season. The first podium with my new team in my debut drive for them. And now I'm just battling for 10th place. It's just... it's not even worth it. I may as well just put my car in the barrier. 1 point is not... well, actually, no, I say that 1 point is nothing. I lost the championship by 1 point last season. So maybe I should hold on to this point just in case. Okay, the leaders are trying to get past a back marker at the moment. This could really help me out. This could honestly really help me out. They're going slow at the moment. I'm going to put it up into rich mix to try and catch up. Look at them. Look at them all going slowly through this next section of corners. Come on. No, the back marker's got out of the way a little bit too late, but I may have a chance. I still may have a chance. I've got Raikkonen, Schumacher, and a Ferrari just ahead of me. If I can get DRS off of all of these guys, I could possibly get up into P7. But let's see what happens. In towards the final corner. Right behind Kimi. Oh, that's a terrible line. That's a shocking line. But I am going to get a not too bad exit. DRS open. Down towards turn 1. I'm just going to use a whole lot of curves. Just to go as quick as I possibly can. Down in towards that corner. Will it be enough? Maybe not. I've dived it up the inside of Raikkonen, though. I've banged tyres with him. But we've got through. We have got through, and we've moved up into P9. Okay. Alright. Maybe this race will change. Maybe it will change for the better. But I do need to go back into fuel conservation mode. Because otherwise, I am going to not finish this race. So let's go back into lean mix. Oh, somebody's running wide. Please say that is someone. Yes, it's Nico Rosberg. I've moved up into P8. Thank you very much, Nico. Thank you so much. Okay, maybe this race will be better. I've gone from the podium down to 10th, and I'm slowly making my way back through the field. I need more back markers, though. Where are you, back markers? I need you to help me out, buddies. Okay, Kimi Räikkönen's just going to sail past us once again down in towards turn 1. Maldonado might have a go as well. We're going to brake late down towards the corner though. Side by side with Kimi Räikkönen. He's going to run it wide on the curb. I'm going to use a whole of the curves to defend with. And there we go, staying in P8. Good job. Right then, 2 laps left to go in this Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm going to have Kimi Räikkönen right on my tail once again as we go through this final corner. He's a little bit further back this time around, but with DRS, that's not going to hurt him too much. He's going to just file through on the left-hand side. I'm going to use as much curves as I possibly can. Brake late down in towards turn 1 and should hopefully stay in position, which I do. There we go, holding on to P8. I know it's only 4 points, but 1 point lost me the championship last season, so 4 points can still mean a massive load. It's not as good as 15. I know that, and we definitely should have got 15 in today's race, but still, at least it's 4 points. At least we've got some points out of this race. As Jenson Button wins today's Hungarian Grand Prix. A great result there for the Brit, and he will hopefully, for him, try and push Fernando Alonso for the World Championship. I don't think at this stage it will happen, but I was way off the pace in F1 2011 at this stage as well. And what happened there? I managed just to lose out by 1 point. So we'll wait and see. I've still got Kimi Räikkönen though, right to my tail. I'm very much defending against him, but if I can just get through the next couple of corners, I should be fine, because I don't think he will have enough acceleration to pit me just before the line. So we'll wait and see. Down in towards this final corner now. 1 corner left to go. I'm not too sure how I'm doing on fuel. It is optimal. Perfect. On the final lap, we go to optimal fuel, come down towards the line, and take home an 8th position. It's disappointing. In all honesty, it's a very disappointing result. Okay, we started in P10. We got P8. It's position gained, but we should have got a podium today. That's the bottom line. I should have got a podium today. I should have got in P3. Instead, it went to Mark Webber. It's just disappointing. It's just really disappointing. P3 belonged to me today, and I just threw it all away. I don't know what happened. I just spun it on one single curb, and that was the end of the race for me. That was the end of the race. I finished down in P8. Okay, I still finished ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. I have lost out to Roman Grosjean, but I still finished ahead of Kimi Räikkönen, which is a championship rival of mine. Looking at the rest of the standings, Jenson Button won today's race with Fernando Alonso 2nd, Mark Webber in 3rd, Sebastian Vettel 4th, Roman Grosjean 5th, Felipe Massa in 6th, Michael Schumacher in 7th, myself in 8th with Kimi Räikkönen 9th, and Pastor Maldonado getting the final championship points here today. My teammate just missing out on the points in P11 with Nico Hulkenberg, my replacement, also not getting any points here today, which is good news for me. And Lewis Hamilton being down in 17th. Not too sure what happened to him. I didn't actually see anything happen to Lewis Hamilton, so he must have had a spin somewhere out on track. Nico Rosberg finished down in 24th place after pulling off to the side of the road earlier on in today's race. Right, looking at the Drivers' Championship then, and we're still in P6. We are still ahead of Roman Grosjean, this time now by 10 points. Way off the pace, though, of Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. So we need to get back at those guys. We need to get a decent result in the next couple of races, get back at those guys, and hopefully try and challenge for a Force India seat in F1 2013. But we're just going to have to wait and see on that one. Constructors' Championship, it is now McLaren Mercedes still leading the way on 282. Red Bull in 2nd with Ferrari 3rd. We have lost out a little bit to Lotus F1 team. Actually, no, I'm not in Force India anymore. Okay, I'm in Sauber, and we're only on 28 points so far for the season. So I've left Force India, and I've kind of thrown Sauber in it. I've kind of thrown myself in it, joining Sauber, a team that's only got 28 points. They are better on this game than the Force India team. It's just because, obviously, I scored loads of points for Force India compared to Paul di Resta. If it was just Paul di Resta's points, he would be 23. So they would be behind the Sauber team. So that is the goal now for the rest of the season. It's to beat Force India in the championship. If we can beat Force India, I will count that as a very good result. But that is it for today's Hungarian Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for daily Formula One content once again. And I will see you next time at the Belgian Grand Prix, one of my favourite tracks on the F1 calendar. But until then, it's goodbye from me.